my friends. So we start the walk off with somebody having a little bit of road rage at someone else. I think everybody is wound up a little too tightly lately. So anyway, today is absolutely gorgeous. It is a very sunny, not a cloud in the sky, 83 degrees and no humidity. The dew point is like 48. Very comfortable. It is warm at 83, but as I've always stated on here, if you're going to have any kind of heat at all, you want to have a dry heat and not a humid heat. So today there's a light breeze. I don't feel like I'm in a steam sauna. Seems to be an argument a lot of people online have. But I will tell you, having not experienced either, and just experiencing what I have in Maine when it gets really muggy, that I would rather have 95 degrees with no humidity and mugginess as opposed to 95 with mugginess. I've seen people online argue about it. People that live in Florida, it gets up to 102 in the southern part of Florida. It's absolutely miserable. They have to stay indoors. And it gets 102 out in Arizona, which is also hot, but it's not as miserable. Both are hot, but to me, one is more tolerable. And I know that for a fact because this same temperature today, 2 days ago when it was muggy, was miserable being outdoors, and now it's not. So scoff at me if you will. It will not change my mind. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I'm a little bit of Epstein, Maxwell'd out. I talked about Obama, Clapper, Brennan, Comey, people like that, seditious treason, which it was. I'd like to see Hillary implicated in that as well, because she had a hand in it. But I beat that to death on the last walk. So today, just going to enjoy a beautiful day and a beautiful walk. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Now I am going to get warm and I am going to sweat on this walk, but I won't be miserable. We had a new shooting table delivered today, which I don't shoot off a table, and neither do my brothers. We don't shoot off a stand or a table. But we have this table we bring every week to put our stuff on. Then we fold it up and take it home after. So needed something collapsible. This one folds in the middle. We used to have one of those, but it ended up getting used at a job site and it got lost in the weeds. today I'm going to walk a route that I walk sometimes, but I'm going to do it backwards. I hope you don't mind. Like I said, my walks are for exercise, not for seeing different things every time I walk. So sometimes a lot of the walks are the same. And if you're here walking with me, it's because you enjoy walking with me and listening to me babble. If not, then, well, you're probably not going to watch too much of this. But this is geared towards being a MAHA vlog. Make America Healthy Again, walking exercise vlog. I've been doing this for a few years now, walking almost every day, and I lost a lot of weight, I'm very healthy. And something I've noticed, I wanted to point out to you, is since walking every day, my feet have changed a little bit, meaning my toes. My toes have elongated a little bit and gotten a little bit wider, and it has to do with the exercise they're getting. And your toes do have muscles and ligaments, and when you exercise, muscles get bigger. So my shoes have gotten a little tighter in the toe cap, not anywhere else, just the toes. It's kind of funny, but that's what happened. And it took a couple of years of doing this every day for that to happen. The good news is I was having, like, my toenails were starting to get thicker and yellow a little bit because they were growing slower, which is very common when you get older. It's a circulation thing. Well, a lot of that has gone away. So this has been very beneficial for circulation in my legs, which, by the way, runs in my family. I don't have any varicose veins, but that might pop up at some point. But very important to get exercise, especially for blood flow and things like that. So just kind of giving you an update about things I've noticed. And underneath my toenails, I used to have like this kind of crusty stuff that would build up, and that's gone too. So now my toenails are pretty much back to normal, how they used to be when I was younger. So that's one of the benefits that I've learned from this, which is good. The other benefit now is I can walk 5 miles or 6 miles and it's really nothing. And when I first started out, 5 or 6 miles was like, man, I'm never going to be able to do that. And of course I was about 40 pounds heavier too. So hi, how are you?
Good, you?
Very strange behavior from that guy. Now that guy gave me some bad vibes. That's why I told you, when you see somebody you're walking by, the best thing you can do is give them a friendly hello. That'll tell you what kind of person it is. If they look away from you and ignore you, well, watch your back. Seriously. As soon as you walk by, they might turn around and try to rob you or do something else, because that's not normal to just ignore somebody directly talking to you, like 3 feet away from you when you're walking by. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think so. Now this place across the street, this store, this is what I was talking about. Swear to God, all of these places are owned by LGBT people. We get the Rainbow Marijuanaville. Right here. See all the rainbow stuff? Then across the street, we have a rainbow flag outside that business. This same business has a sign in the window saying no firearms allowed inside. So if I went in there with a firearm, and I was going to go in there to check out what they had one day, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, saw the sign and I was like, well, I'm not going in there. I'm not going to play along with that. So they have the Lewiston Strong stencil in the window because of the mass shooting we had. So that's an obvious liberal who hates guns. They have the rainbow flag. And I will never give anybody like that my money. That's just the way it is. Freedom of choice, man. We have constitutional carry in Maine. You can carry open or concealed without a permit. But if a business posts no firearms and you go in with one, you get charged with a felony. So, what does that tell you? Well, that tells you, let's say you go in there to go shopping, all right? And let's say somebody decides to rob the place while you're in it. Well, they have a gun, they're committing a felony. Not only that, they're doing armed robbery. Probably have the gun illegally, probably more charges. But if I'm in there with a sign that was posted, no firearms, and I pull my firearm and take care of this person who is putting other people's lives in danger, I'll bet you dollars to no nuts here, I would get charged, along with the person robbing the store who is now dead, and they would make me some kind of martyr, scapegoat kind of thing. So my best policy is, I'm not going to shop there. Let them get robbed, and if the person working behind the counter gets shot, and I could have been next to him to save him, well, what do you want from me? It's your own fault. Maybe you can ask them nicely to not rob you. Nicely, please leave the store. Please don't shoot me. Last time I checked, that really doesn't do too much to deter a criminal in the middle of the act. Unless they have a conscience, which they won't, because if they did, they wouldn't be there in the first place. So, that's my opinion on that. Anyway, everybody, how you doing? Today I'm not wearing my usual walking clothes. I am wearing jeans with New Balance sneakers. I'm not wearing my most comfortable walking shoes, even though these are comfortable. They're not my favorite for walking. But I had them on already, so here I am. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I just wanted to say hello to everybody. Hope you're having a good weekend. Today is Saturday. I'm going to clean the lens. There we go, that looks good. That looks good. All right, my friends, let's walk on. I was just listening to a really great vinyl record album that I've played many times, one of my favorites. You've actually seen me wear the t-shirt of the album cover. And that would be Ace Frehley. Official title is Kiss, comma, Ace Frehley, hyphen, Ace Frehley, self-titled. It's got New York Groove on it. But in my opinion, the best song on it is Rip It Out. Very first song on side 1. Great rock and guitar album. It's Ace when he was still creative. Even though some of his solo stuff is pretty good, some of it's mediocre. And there's a video clip I saw of him online when he was getting sober and he could barely play. There's that guy I was telling you about. See that? He is covered head to toe clothing. He's wearing long sleeves. He's wearing a reflective jacket over his long sleeves. And he has his face covered up to his eyeballs with a mask. Guarantee you, he is something like a veteran, probably injured in combat, badly burned. And he's out here. I see him out here often. But it's almost 85 degrees, and you saw how he was dressed. So, that's the guy I was talking about. So, I'm not going to stop him and say, hey man, what happened to you? That would be freedom of information from his end. But I have seen him riding his bike often. Very obvious he has some kind of issue medically. He could just have a really rare skin disease. And sunlight really hurts him a lot. But I have seen him out here dressed that way when it's cloudy. And I'm willing to bet that he's a veteran that's been injured in combat. Because that's the most likely place to have a bad burn injury like that. So anyway, we finally got to see him. I usually miss him on camera. One day he went by while I was changing batteries, but we just saw him. He usually says hi if he's coming towards me. So, anyways, my friend, let's walk. Turning into a good walk. Feel good. Nice and warm, but it's not hot. A little bit of a haze today, I can see. It doesn't feel humid though, not like it was. I smell food cooking, I hear music playing. People are enjoying a Saturday. So very important for people to get healthy. Gotta get healthy. That's why I was glad I watched, about 45-minute video, raw feed from Scotland. President Trump out on the golf course. It looked like a dank, damp, foggy day. So he was out there on the course in fog, looked like. And his white cap that he wears, and he had black slacks and a black light jacket, hitting his gold golf ball. So I was also watching some protesters. Now he had a lot of supporters out there, and he went there and he's already in trouble with the media because he made comments about the immigration problem in Europe and how Europe is destroying itself. He went there and told the truth. They don't want to hear it. So they had protesters out there today, signs calling him a dictator, this and that, and a racist, a xenophobe, a homophobe, a phobophobe. The good little useful idiots of Europe who do what they're told. Their local representatives in Scotland said, you ought to go out there and protest the dictator. That's the best Scottish accent you're gonna get from me. We're giving him all she's got, Captain. The only Scottish I've learned is from Scotty the Scotsman in Star Trek. Which, by the way, I wanted to point out, William Shatner blocked me on social media. Didn't like what I had to say, apparently. Oh well. Oh well. Another liberal asshole that blocked me on social media that's famous is David Coverdale, singer for Whitesnake. Oh well. If you're going to post political things, you can expect political replies, right? I think people need to lighten up a little bit and have some fun. Have some fun, my friends. The freaking gnats are gnatting today. Well, my friends, all I can do is be me, think for myself, and if people don't like it, well, fuck you then. These people are still acting like it's not 2020 yet. Like their opinion matters. Well, it no longer matters. These people have shown the world how incredibly obtuse and stupid they are. Rich, famous, or otherwise. A moron is a fucking moron. I watched a video of Kamala Harris talking at something. She's talking about the Constitution and constitutional rights, and I'm watching this, and there's two people in the video she's talking to at a table, and I swear to God the two people at the table are almost in disbelief that this person is actually sitting there in front of them spewing this stupidity. And they also look like they're smelling vodka wafting across the table at them, because she seemed drunk, she sounded stupid, and it was a difficult 1.5-minute video to watch. That was almost the President of the United States. Unbelievable. She's literally a moron. Crazy. I'm back in the New York groove. Ace Frehley is known for that song, but it's a cover tune. It's not his song, but it's one he liked, and he recorded it, and it's very good. I don't see any deer. I don't see any wild turkeys. Today, I do want to get a couple cell phone photos. I've got a garden across the street. I want to get a couple of good quality cell phone photos. So I need to pause my walking app to do that, because taking a high-res photo is going to steal my RAM while the Google Fit app is running, and it's going to stop recording my walk. We'll head down here. ATVs have been using this in trucks since our last walk down here. It's all more of a beaten path for trucks. I just want to get a good photograph. So I am going to stop my walk. Gizmo. Walk paused. may ask, why would I do that if I'm shooting video at the same time? I can certainly take a screenshot from this, I really can, but we'll turn around and head out of here. Nice shot. I may try to get a shot of, I hear a goose honking over there. We've seen geese over there before. Geese hanging out with the ducks. That guy puts grain out there and stuff. They stop by and they munch his wares. Usually has about a dozen squirrels hanging out there too. I'm wondering if I should stop in. I think I should. See the swamp. Probably looks like a swamp today. We've not had very much rain. Really haven't, and things are drying up. When we were down by the river a couple days ago, the river was down a good 3 or 4 feet in height compared to usual. The other thing I noticed is I had an email from the city. The city was asking for people to just use water if it's essential. Now, at first I thought, okay, here we go with the liberal bullshit. Then I read it further. Guess what it said? Guess. You give up? A water main broke off the lake. So the water supply pump station wasn't getting water. So they asked people not to use water until 3 o'clock this afternoon, which will be here any moment now, which means the water should be getting back on. But our water was on. They were pumping from the reserve tanks, they said. So they tapped into the reserve reservoir. So the reservoir, which is actually French, is a reserve tanks. So we're going to walk down over here, see if we can wander on over, see if we can see any geese or any frogs on lily pads or something. Let's see what we see. Walk down to the corner here, hang a left. And this whole area is very nice. This right here in the fall, all of these trees are oranges and reds, yellows, and you've seen those on the walks, and this is that area. Definitely looks prettier in the fall, in my opinion. But I'm glad it's summer, if I'm honest about it. Alright, let's walk down through here. It is not tick season. That's not to mean I won't get any. So I shall be cautious. See if I can go down through here. pick a spot. Pick a spot here to walk through. You can't really get there without going through what normally would be something you don't want to walk through for ticks. Don't see anything on me. I don't really expect there would be. But as we can see here, we've got lily pads. See how low it is? We came out here before and all of those sticks sticking up out of the water were just underneath the surface of the water. So it looks like it's down a couple of feet at least. So we just have not had rain. So I don't know how much of this water gets stagnant, but I'm sure it changes things for the fishies. Probably be good bass fishing through here. Probably great, actually. So, very cool. Resuming walk. There we go. Hi everybody. So, let's extend the pole. So my friends, thank you for walking with me today. And we get to see beautiful places like this. Isn't that nice? Let's work our way out of here and finish our walk. So, I'll walk through the weeds. I just really find this enjoyable. Yeah, I'm soaked in sweat. I'm sweaty. Hot, not overheating hot. It's not miserable, but we're walking and you get your heart rate up. And a lot of noisy insects out here today. Another thing that's really funny is last night I went out for a drive and I drove down this road that we have walked many times. We have walked this road many times, front and back, to and fro. And I was really surprised how different it looks at night. So I was like, oh wow, there's a curve here. I don't remember this. It looks different at night. So kind of interesting. Just thought I'd share that. Very familiar with this road. Just usually don't drive it at night. I'm on this road in the daytime. So that includes driving. Just thought that was odd. Car coming up ahead. I'll keep my eyes on it. Keep my eyes peeled. It's a red pickup. Toyota. Kind of a good walk today. And I think it's kind of nice not talking about anything important. I just want to enjoy my walk. Nice pool out here. The view of a body of water. Always watching up ahead, especially on curves and on crests. So I got a test for you. My walk in Auburn, it's a new walk, new route. There were two things that occurred on that walk that I thought were interesting. And I don't know if you missed them or not. Because I don't think people watch the walks all the way through, except for at least one person I know for sure that does. And sometimes they watch them twice. But that walk in Auburn, we had two Van Halen mailboxes, which was interesting because the two people that watch my walks all the way through, one of them is a Van Halen fan. So anyway, there were two Van Halen mailboxes. Coolest thing ever. I actually want those damn things. We also saw a sign that said meat rabbits, $40 for a meat rabbit, live meat rabbits, where you kill it and grill it yourself. Probably stew rabbits. Stew rabbits run 5.5 to 9 pounds each. They're bigger than your normal bunnies you see out running in a field somewhere. They're bigger than jackrabbits. They're good for stews. Some people call them meat rabbits. Some people call them stew bunnies, stew rabbits. I don't know if I could kill a rabbit unless I was starving in an apocalypse. Then I could. Actually, if I was hungry enough and it was a post-apocalypse and literally starving, I think you could probably eat about anything, including that liberal neighbor you don't like. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. So anyways, I also found a syringe when walking. I hate finding those. I found a bottle to put it in, which was good. I just would not feel great if I saw a news story about a kid getting poked with a needle they found and then got some disease that's horrible. I'd have no way of knowing if it was the one I saw or not. So, yes, handling that stuff without protective gloves can be risky. I'm always careful, and you've seen me do it, of bending the needles and recapping them, or just putting them in a container. So, really hate seeing that. And the city of Lewiston has pledged to step up cleaning those up by I don't know. I still haven't found out what they're doing yet. Oh, look at this. We got birthday balloons. Look, birthday balloons. And we got a hopping air castle. Look at that. Somebody's birthday. They have an air castle to go hop around in. Isn't that awesome? Some kid's having a great birthday. Isn't that awesome? That is really cool. So anyways, it's a bouncy castle. So anyway, the city of Lewiston has pledged some kind of program to expedite the process of making sure that their syringes aren't thrown away. The only thing I can guess is they're doing some kind of buyback, I guess. Haven't looked into it, but it has to be something like that, because they already have containers around town for people's sharps. So they might be adding some more boxes. That's probably what they're going to do. I'm not really sure that does anything about people chucking them out their car window when they're driving by, though. People don't want to be seen putting sharps in a container, you know, unless they don't care, which with some people that's probably the case. But you know, there are other people that have an addiction. They're trying to keep it secret. So anyway, I pick them up when I see them. I don't have my backpack with me today, and I don't have any empty bottles, but usually don't have to walk too far to find an empty bottle, if I'm honest about it. I get sweat dripping down the back of my hair on my neck. The sign says moving sale. That's the thing. Oh, there's a cardinal. There's a cardinal in the road. Look at that. It's red. It's a small one. Oh, look at it go. Isn't that pretty? Just sitting there on a branch. Hi, little cardinal. Wow, look at that. Look at his orange beak. He's checking me out. And just sitting there in that tree. He's twitchy. Yep, that's a young one. It's a little one. Well, that was cool. Walked by a bush and I heard some leaves skittering. I think I spooked a little chipmunk. Oh, this is the kind of crest I gotta watch for cars coming over it. That last walk this way, you saw bugs are out today. All right, what's going on with this? You saw the rut on the side of the road. Somebody drifted over and caught that rut. While I was walking. There we go. I just killed a black fly. So you want to be watching ahead when you come up on a crest like this. Now we can see over it. It's safe. Oh, we got a dragonfly buzzing around up ahead. Doing his dragonfly maneuvers. Hover, jolt, hover, hover, jolt. Jog right, jog left, hover. You don't sit in one space very long. Today is the perfect kind of day. That was my favorite afternoon when I was a kid. A young teenager, well actually maybe 12, 13. A new teenager. Or a preteen, known as a tween. I remember lying on a day just like this in front of my bedroom window with the sun coming in the window, reading my Return of the Jedi book. It was a book on the making of Return of the Jedi and how they made the props and the models, which I still have. I still have all that stuff. So pretty cool stuff. But it was a day just like today. I mean, exactly, carbon copy. So that's what I like about memories and things like that. And I also remember at the same time, I had my Moonraker collector cards, James Bond. Collected them all too, had them all. Big James Bond fan. Had a couple of James Bond books written by Ian Fleming. And here we go with 2 tires. See that? That's what I was talking about. They make it difficult for you to get rid of tires. They charge you $5 a piece to throw them away. And you have to bring them there. That's what people are back doing again. Rolling them down the hill, throwing them out in the woods. The whole purpose of having a landfill in your town and telling you in the old days, just bring your stuff in here, we'll take care of it for free. Now they have defeated the whole purpose of it. this is great. I really love this. It's a nice day. Now we'll see if they've done anything up here while they were marking the road with spray paint. Probably haven't done anything yet. I didn't notice anything last night when I drove by here. Squirrel out there. Squirrel out there getting squirrely. So last night, I whipped up some potatoes with onions, and I had a couple of hot dog wieners with it. I don't eat very many hot dogs, and I have to admit they were rather tasty. So I still don't know what they're doing here yet. But it's obvious they marked 15 feet with an arrow pointing that way. And they have white lines here. I reckon I'll see what they're up to. This is that stretch. I found about 5 syringes. Haven't seen anything since. Maybe they noticed where they were dumping their syringes and the syringes were gone. Maybe they're like, somebody's on to me, and they stopped doing it. Or they are no longer with us, which may possibly be what happened. Probably the likely scenario. Or for some reason they don't live around or drive past this way anymore. Car coming. I'll get off the side here just to be cautious. My right hip hurts. That's a new pain. Hope that's not some kind of thing like a hip flexor or something. I had that before. That's pretty painful. Takes a long time to heal too. I'm falling apart. fly bothering me. You can tell when you're sweating. They want the salt in your sweat. That's what they're going after. All right. We march on. 3.5 miles. Keep on motivating. Awful lot of little whiskey shot bottles. Those one shot small samples. Somebody in this neighborhood's an alcoholic, because I see that a lot. A lot of hard iced tea, Bud Light, and these little shot things. And they're always clustered in the same area, so people have like habits. So usually it's going to be the same person. This is another thing you see a lot of, these empty bottles. And that spring water bottle has chewing tobacco inside. People spit in their bottles and then they throw it out the window for the rest of the world to enjoy. Get off the road here, somebody coming. Got 2 cars coming towards me up ahead. And a bike, 2 bikes. A car and 2 motorcycles. Nice to see my eyeballs still work to see that far enough away. There's another chewing tobacco bottle, probably the same person, which is what I was talking about. There's the other bike. I see somebody up ahead swerved at something in the road. So we will see what that is as we get closer. I see a dark spot in the road. Maybe they've been digging. So anyway, we did have what I explained when the walk started. It's another reminder of how fragile we are. We get used to things. And when the whole system stops, it's all going to stop. And that water main break in Auburn, in between the lake and the pumping station. So they're pumping water from the reservoir for the community, which is probably the reservoir off Montello. I'm not sure where they're getting their reservoir tank is. They call it a reservoir tank. But we actually have a couple of reservoirs. The other thing I wanted to talk about is if something's going to get you, it's going to get you. I was just reading about a kid that died from a brain-eating amoeba. They ingested an amoeba swimming in I think it was a reservoir. I think it was North Carolina. Could be South Carolina, but I think it was North Carolina. They just jumped in, and all it has to do is just enter your body through your nostrils when you're swimming. And poor kid had its brain eaten by an amoeba, which probably multiplied into other ones. Not a good way to go. Poor kid. I think the kid was like 9 or something, 9 or 12. A youngster. Horrible. Just terrible. But those are the risks. You go swimming in places that maybe, you know, you shouldn't swim in. Certainly was not a public swimming place from what I understand. Here's another one of those alcohol, all the same brand. Somebody's chucking them out when they drive by. Drinking problem. Nope, I don't see anything in the road over here. Must be up ahead. I see something sticking out there. I don't know what it is. Got sun in my face. Yeah, I don't see anything. Somebody just felt like swerving for no reason. See, like right here, you can see some of the road is gone. So people come down the road and then they hook a tire in that. And that's something you have to watch for when you're walking, especially if it's rutted, like outside a place where the mailman goes every day and parks off to the side. So somebody here mowed all this down, which is good. Very good. I'm going to be mowing some grass soon enough as well. I'm going to step off to the side here. Lawnmowers off to the side. Sorry, I don't have any big political scoops today, but truthfully, not really in the mood for that today. I've almost moved past it. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with the Russia gate, Obama Russia gate. So we just hit 4 miles. Pretty much all the media networks are now starting to cover themselves legally. I don't know if you've noticed that. Making it a point to say there's no proof that President Trump did anything criminal with Epstein. They've been making a point to say it now. They weren't doing that at first. Even MSNBC was saying that. So obviously, Trump's legal team has been in touch with the networks. Just being honest. You can say, well, it wouldn't surprise me if he did, but as far as we know, there's no evidence that he has. You see? See how hard that is for them to do? They just want to make it look like he's guilty. And now they have to put legal disclaimers. Ooh, another piece of news. This is big news. The View is officially on hiatus. According to the network, they are officially on hiatus. This came about after J.Beau went on a rant against Donald Trump, spewing lies, and the network has taken the show off. They're under contract, so the best thing for ABC to do is to just pull it off the air temporarily until they can legally end it, I guess. So I don't know if the View is going to come back or not, but Trump may have slayed another show. So now we get Stephen Colbert canceled. CBS is terminating the entire late night franchise. Jimmy Fallon and that other idiot were making a big stink about it, swearing, saying vulgar things in the audience of Colbert's show as a form of protest, accusing CBS of caving to Donald Trump. This is a beautiful thing to watch. I am so enjoying this. These people deserve what they get. The American people don't want to watch that. They don't. Now, if you have a show that is an equal opportunity insulter, they'll insult everybody from the Pope to Joe Biden to Trump to everybody else equally, then that's fine. That is actually entertainment. But to say the things that they have over the years, especially things like, if you are a Republican and you get COVID and you end up on a ventilator, this is what these people said on their shows, then you deserve being on a ventilator because you didn't get vaccinated. So this is the kind of rhetoric they were spewing on late night. Hateful, vitriolic, wishing people bad things, public humiliation, saying you deserve something bad like dying for voting for Trump. You know, that goes beyond entertainment. That is no longer entertainment. It's propaganda for Democrats, and the Democrats are just as bad. Now, I did notice you had a Border Patrol agent and you had an ICE officer. Both of them got shot. And ever since then, this rhetoric against ICE from Democrats has calmed down. Don't know if you noticed that or not. And what really pisses me off with these fucking assholes is, why does something bad like that have to happen before you fucking do that? You know? How fucking evil can you be? And stupid. People fucking piss me off, man. So bad. There's no need of that. And they know when they talk like that, they're gonna rile people up. They don't seem to understand that their base that they have are violent. They lean towards violence because they have been raised with everybody gets a trophy. They've created a bunch of little monsters. So, car coming up here. Looks like it's got a kayak on it. I gotta step off to the side here. Oh, Domino's Pizza. It's got a pizza thing on top. So we got a lot of cars here. I'm gonna flip the camera around for safety's sake. It's gonna be almost time to change the battery anyway. There we go. As we pass a couple of marijuana tubes. Medical marijuana tubes. Marijuana is okay to smoke recreationally. And you can buy it at stores. Some people still get prescriptions. You know why? Can you guess? Because then they don't have to pay for it. They get a medical prescription and they're on main care and taxpayers pay for it. So all you got to do is go to the doctor and say, oh, I'm having terrible headaches, my stomach's upset all the time. Marijuana would settle things. Or I have insomnia. I'll prescribe medical marijuana to help you sleep. Or you're suffering from anxiety, or you're suffering from depression, or you're suffering from being too happy and you need to mellow out. They seem to have all kinds of reasons to smoke pot. So, if you go to the cannabis store and buy it yourself, you're going to pay for it. If you have a medical reason, you get it for free. So that's why we see marijuana tubes on the side of the road. Medical marijuana, free pot. I'm sure it's the same way in Colorado, where it's also legal. I'm sure it's the same way in California, and I'm sure it's the same way in New York, and wherever else it's legal. I gotta tell you, I've been real happy with voters in Maine. Voters in Maine have been doing a really good job keeping the state from turning too blue. Every time they start getting a little crazy, they lose seats. I'd like to see the Democrats lose power. That's what I would like to see. Maybe this will be the year. Not long ago, 10 years ago, okay? 10 years ago, 5 elections ago, Maine had a trifecta. We had a Republican House, Republican Senate, Republican governor. A very strict conservative Republican governor who is now running for the congressional seat in this district, which I believe he'll win easily. But I also noticed, and I knew this was going to happen, remember I told you about ranked choice voting? Well, now an independent is going to throw their hat in the ring to be Congress. And it's a Democrat. So the Democrat is going to run as an independent. Jared Golden's running as the incumbent. And I'll tell you what's going to happen already. The Democrat is going to get some independent votes that lean left. They're going to do ranked choice voting. And that person's votes are going to go to Jared Golden. And Jared Golden's going to win the election by like 150 votes. Or something stupid like that. Hi. How you doing today? Pretty good. I don't make days much better than this.
No, it's gorgeous.
It's like a lot of work. Yes. Yeah, I'm on mile number 5. Well, something's burning. That smells like oil. Somebody is burning oil. That is blue smoke burning oil. Oh, look. That person's mowing their lawn. They're not going to quit. What the fuck is this guy doing? He's going to mow that damn lawn regardless. Look at that. That fucking thing is about to catch on fire. What a fucking moron. Well, I'm sorry, but this is stupid enough for me to sit here and watch this. I don't feel like putting a fat guy on a lawnmower out because he caught himself on fire. And he finally turned it off. It probably just quit and died on him. Wow. I have seen some stupid shit in my day, and that was some stupid shit. When you got a fucking lawnmower smoking like that, you're about ready to catch on fire. That's oil burning. Oil burns. It will actually catch on fire. That guy was driving like 5 minutes too long with it. Now I already know what his problem is. Chances are his oil cap came undone. Probably because it caught on a bush, or his air filter is plugged, which would have caused him to stall. So what happens is when you let air into the oil reservoir, it does exactly what we just saw, because these things burn oil with gasoline to begin with, but now you're making it burn rich in oil. Be willing to bet he lost his cap, or it's loose. Either that or he has a serious gasket leak. It sounded like it was running all right though. That's the thing. It wasn't misfiring. So he wasn't losing compression. Probably just a loose oil cap. Still though, that was not the smartest thing for him to do, but he was like, I'm gonna finish mowing my lawn, I don't care. Today was definitely not a day that I would have enjoyed putting out a fat bastard that caught himself on fire on a lawnmower. I don't think I would have enjoyed that very much. Makes me think of that thrash metal band from the late 80s, early 90s called Lawnmower Death. It was pretty funny. Well, not if you're the recipient of a lawnmower death, I'm just saying. Well, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's why I like going out for my walks. You usually see something different and interesting almost every time. Something going on somewhere. We just hit 5 miles. It's definitely hazy. It's definitely warm today. I'm not dying though. You can see in the distance there on the green on the hills, it looks kind of bluish, hazy. So there's a little bit of humidity in the air, but it's not oppressive. Well, it's been an interesting walk today. Never know what I'm going to talk about when I set out. And even though we have walked this route quite a few times, I still enjoy it. The next walk, I'll pick a different route, so on and so forth. I'm trying to pick out a walk to go to that I've not done yet, some trail somewhere nearby I've not been on. I'm going to take a look-see. Oh, we got some bicycles coming. At least 3 of them. We used to do that on days like today. Stop at a variety store somewhere and get some freeze pops or push-ups. We used to call them freeze pops. Some people call them push-ups. Both of them are correct. My favorite used to be the blue ones. Blue and grape. And I like the pineapple one once in a while when they were available. There we go, kids out being kids. That's what they should be doing. Get off your phones, go out and enjoy. There we go. Well, just as I say that, he's got his phone out while he's riding a bike. I think he's shooting a video. And going on these trails. We walked these trails one day back here. I don't know if you remember. It's only about 1.25 miles walking through all the trails in here. It's like 1.5 miles. So it really wasn't enough of a walk. I'd have to incorporate it. Because I do at least 5. Thought for sure that lawnmower was going to catch on fire. Sure looked like it, didn't it? That was burning oil to the point where it's like oil was coming out somewhere onto the exhaust or something like that. If it was the air filter that was plugged, it would be dirty air filter you can get when you first start it up. It'll have some blue smoke. But if it's really severely plugged to cause that much smoke, I seriously doubt that would even run, because you're choking the air and take off. So we'll walk up ahead. We'll turn this off up ahead. I gotta tell you, these shoes were not the most comfortable to walk in today. Well, right up ahead. Walk will be over shortly. I want to thank you for walking with me today. Click like and subscribe. Share the content. Stay healthy. Make America healthy again, man. MAHA. If any MAHA people out there are watching, stay healthy. Eat healthy, mainly. And exercise. So anyway, say a prayer for the country. Say a prayer for President Trump. God bless America. And enjoy everything that's about to unfold in America. It's going to be like nothing we have ever seen before. I'm very happy and excited my vote is doing this. See you guys on the next walk. See ya!